All right, what's up, everyone? I'm Matthew, certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, gut health. Been in the fitness space, coaching online, in person, managing gyms going on 4 years now. And I still hear a couple very common myths that just blow my mind. And I really wanted to address one of them here today, and that's sit-ups. A lot of people out there are still arguing that sit-ups are bad for your back. That is the most untrue, false statement I've ever heard, and it drives me nuts every time I hear someone say that. Our backs are literally designed to flex and extend independently of one another and articulate and move. That's what our backs are designed to do. To say that they're not, and that's actually bad for our backs, is ridiculous. We don't move like robots. We're not perfectly straight backs all the time. In fact, when you see someone who has a fused spine or rods up and down their spine and they are moving at a perfectly neutral spine all the time, they probably look a little off to you when they move around in public. Spinal flexion is totally safe as long as it's appropriate. What do I mean by that? You will hurt your back if you round your back, spinal flexion, and get it to its end range of motion under load. That's how you can bulge a disc or injure your back. That's why when you deadlift, you don't want to be rounding your back and resting on the joint. What happens is you start off at a neutral spine and you start rounding your back, you get to your end range of motion, and then the joints, each vertebrae is resting on one another and it can't move any farther, and it starts putting pressure on the discs. Now, if you're loaded like in a deadlift, that's where you can start to bulge a disc. But if you're in the same position and it's an unloaded position, like when you reach down to pick something up off the floor, that's okay. You're not going to bulge a disc by reaching down and picking up a piece of paper. Now let's pretend sit-ups are bad for you, just for a moment. It's a crazy idea, but let's pretend. How do you get up out of bed every morning? How do you get up off the floor? You're probably doing something that looks just like a sit-up because it's a normal human movement that is essential to be able to do and have strength in. How do you get something from off the floor? You round your back and pick it up. Nobody has a perfectly straight back every single time they pick something up off the floor. What about doing a cat-cow exercise where literally the exercise is on your hands and knees, rounding your back, arching your back, rounding your back, arching your back? That's an exercise. That's something that everyone should be able to do. The idea that spinal flexion is bad in a sit-up is ridiculous. You are not going to be able to provide enough force with your own body in a sit-up to be able to bulge a disc. In a deadlift, when you could bulge a disc, you've got gravity pushing down on your back, you've got weight hanging down from your upper body, and you have a lot of pressure and load that could bulge a disc. But when you're laying on your back and you're doing a sit-up, the only thing that is rounding your back is your own ab and core strength. There's nothing else working with you. You're providing all the force, and you will not be able to provide enough force with your abs to be able to bulge a disc. Now, there's always unique situations, and not every single person on the planet should be doing sit-ups. For example, if you did just bulge a disc, or you just got back surgery, or you have back complications like that, and you're currently rehabbing that, okay, sit-ups are probably not a good idea. But for the average person who is trying to move as efficiently as possible, move through all the ranges of motion and be as healthy as possible, you should be doing sit-ups. There's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. If you don't do sit-ups, what's going to end up happening is your body is just going to eliminate its ability to be able to round your back. And then what's going to happen is 10, 15 years from now, you're gonna bend down to pick up a 5-pound weight, and then you are gonna throw your back out because you aren't moving. You're not training your body in that range of motion. And any range of motion you don't train your body in, maintain your mobility to be able to do that range of motion, that's how you injure yourself. That's why it's so important that you do train every single movement pattern that the human body can move in so you don't injure yourself. I hope this video helped clear up sit-ups and why you should be doing them. And let's please crush this myth that sit-ups are bad. It drives me insane and I never want to hear it again. So if you like this video, go ahead, throw it a like, hit subscribe, or just leave a comment. I would be happy to answer any questions. Thanks.